Dear students, in this class, I'll be talking about the pests of cucurbitaceous vegetables. The cucurbits includes both melons and gourds. Melons may be watermelon, muskmelon, and gourds may be bitter gourd, ivy gourd, snake gourds, like so many are there. So the similarity in the odors these plants secretes, these host plant secretes, is common. As a result, the most of the pest complex which feeds on these plants are common, but few of the plant few of the insects still specifically attacks few of the melons and gourds. So wherever they are specifically attacks, now we will discuss further. In fact, one of the major pests which infest the cucurbits are the fruit flies. In fact, they are called fruit fly, melon fruit fly complex. So all these melon fruit fly complex are response to pheromone called Q-lure. So similarly, we have a mango fruit fly complex where all those mango fruit fly complex attracts to pheromone called methyl eugenol. So the important species which infest the melons are Zygodacus genus, subgenus Zygodacus cucurbitae, Zygodacus caudatus, Zygodacus cutellaris, and Dacus ciliatus. So in Karnataka, the Zygodacus cucurbitae and Dacus ciliatus are common. They are belongs to family Tephrididae. So this is the identification features of Zygodacus cucurbitae, wherein you will find the three scutellar vitae. So two of them are called lateral vitae and the middle one is called median vitae. So on the color of these fruit flies are usually lemon yellow colored with lot of brown markings. Whereas the Dacus ciliatus has got only two scutellar vitae, they are only lateral vitae, and there will be two dark brown spots on the fourth abdominal segment. Thereby we can distinguish from the other species. So usually the Zygodacus cucurbitae confuses with Dacus dorsalis in the size. But the Dacus dorsalis also has got two scutellar vitae, but it may not have these two spots which the Dacus ciliatus has got. Okay, so it may confuse us with the cucurbit fruit fly complex, but no, there are a lot of taxonomic characters whereby we can distinguish from the mango fruit fly complex. The nature of damage of these fruit flies, usually the adults comes and lays the eggs in the fruits by with a very good well developed ovipositor, and it punctures the fruits and lays the eggs. That may cause ovipositional damage. Okay, so because from there wherever it is punctured, the there will be a small hole, and from there the brown viscous fluid may comes out. Thereby you can identify the ovipositional damage. So if they are successfully hatches inside the fruit, the maggots develop inside and they start feeding inside, especially the pulp part, and the fruits actually starts decaying. So you can see here the ovipositional puncture, through which the brown viscous fluid coming out in case of bitter gourd, and it may be any other cucurbits as well. So, and the ovipositional puncture may also leads to entry of bacteria and fungi, and once it enters into the fruits completely, the fruit rotting occurs, and sometimes the fruits may get malformed, and they they may once the rotting occurs, they may fall off prematurely. And you can see here the malformed fruits. In case of especially chow chow, they may not breed successfully, but they insert its ovipositor, and they are called pseudo punctures, and that may cause the malformation like this. You can see the difference between the healthy fruits and a infested fruit. So coming to life history of Zygodacus cucurbitae, the adult can lay up to 200 eggs, and in each of the fruits they may lay 2 to 10 number of eggs per fruit. So usually they deposit epidactic pheromone, and as a result they maintain the spacing. Okay, once they hatch, so usually the maggots are measures about 5 to 10 mm. They are cylindrical in shape and tapering anteriorly and blunt at posterior end, and they feed on the pulp. So once they mature, the mature maggots comes out of the fruit and they fall down and they get into the soil, and the pupation occurs in the soil, and they are pupae are usually brown and ochraceous in color. So adults can live up to 2 to 5 months, and hence they cause enormous damage. So very importantly, try to remember that the fruit flies lays the eggs directly inside the fruits, whereas they pupate in soil. Okay, if you know the biology, you can design the management strategies. So the important cultural practice includes, so wherever the crop, wherever the available resistant varieties are available, you can plan for such resistant varieties. Like in case of pumpkin, Arka Chandramukhi is there, which is released by IHR. So harvesting before ripening. Usually the young fruits are attacked, and if they are allowed for till complete ripening, so the damage will be more. So that's why they needs to be harvested before complete ripening. So field sanitation, wherever the infested fruits are, for fallen fruits are there, they needs to be collected and destroyed. So bagging of the fruits is a very important practice because the oviposition is completely avoided. So the paper, any normal paper, maybe newspaper bag or poly bags can be used in order to cover the fruits 2 to 3 days after anthesis. One of the important cultural practice widely followed is frequent raking under the vines. Okay, so are flowing the infested fields. So as the pupation occurs in the soil, the raking actually brings the pupae to the top layer and they may be exposed to sunshine or the predators. So usually the maize is used as border crop, where these fruit flies actually rest, and they can be targeted by spraying insecticide or thereby the partial reduction in the population can be obtained by sowing the border crop, especially in few of the important crops, export-oriented crops like gherkin. So this is how we can go for bagging of the fruits. So one of the important practices using the parapheromone traps using Q-lure. So there are many of them are commercially available like this, but farmers themselves can fabricate their own traps using some of the waste bottles like this by cutting few of the windows and dispensing 0.4 ml of Q-lure to these wood piece or plywood piece and adding little quantity of dichlorobas and tying in the garden. About 4 traps per acre is required. So that attracts large number of males. This is also called male annihilation technique, in fact. So in fact, the common parasitide which is naturally noticed is Citelia fletcheri, which belongs to family Braconidae. In fact, this is a larval pupal parasitide which was introduced into Hawaii for the management of fruit flies. There it was successfully employed, in fact, along with the sterile insect technique. But in India, only natural parasitism has been reported and not commercial exploitation. So when it comes to chemical control, so profenophos, fenthion, deltamethrin, this is in fact decamethrin or deltamethrin has been widely exploited for the management. So which has to be sprayed at the rate of 0.5 ml per liter of water at the 15 days interval starting from flowering. So also, bites prepared with 10% ripe banana, 10% sugar or jaggery mixed with melatonin 2 ml per liter used in bite traps. Okay, so in 4 to 6 places they can be placed, so that attracts the large number of fruit flies as well. So that's about the fruit fly. The another important pest which attacks melons, cucumbers, gherkins, gourds, and other cucurbits is the pumpkin caterpillar. It is also called gherkin fruit borer, Diaphania indica. Okay, so you can see the identification features of the larvae and adults, very specific. So the usually eggs are laid singly or in groups on the undersurface of leaves. Larvae is bright green with a pair of white mid-dorsal lines, very clear you can see here. And pupation takes place inside a cocoon among the leaves. So and adults has got broad dark marginal patches, you can see clearly you can see. So and female has got tough orange colored hairs at the end, anal end. Okay, whereas the male lacking those. So usually the larva scrapes the chlorophyll content either maybe on the leaves or even on the gourds or the cucumbers, and sometimes it may bores inside and start feeding the inner content as well. So flowers may also be attacked. So that means attacks almost all the parts. So you can see here, it also acts as leaf folder or the leaf webber. So it folds the leaves and webs the leaves within and feed. And as a result, we can find the silken webbings and lot of excreta accumulated inside. So coming to management of Diaphania indica, need to destroy the infested crop residues. Regularly monitor the bored fruits and such bored fruits needs to be culled out. So usually especially export-oriented crops like gherkin, where azadirachtin 10,000 ppm is used. So we need to see to that it is devoid of aflatoxin. So many times when the fallen fruits, fallen neem seeds are used in order to prepare the NSKE or the neem-based insecticides, so it may consist of aflatoxin, and when it is exported, so as they check for the both disease as well as the insects in those produce, so thereby there is a chance of sending the lot back in the forts. As a result, so the insecticide or the neem azadirachtin used should be devoid of aflatoxin. So these insecticides can be used starting from 28th day after sowing. The other important insecticides recommended are the lambda-cyhalothrin 1 ml, novaluron 0.75 ml per liter, spinosad 1 ml per liter, thiodicarb 1 gram per liter, indoxacarb 0.4 ml per liter of water. So coming to other major pests is the pumpkin beetle, Allocophora, Phobicalis, so which are usually glistening yellowish red to yellowish brown insects, and they act as they in fact causes biting voles, attacks wide number of wide range of cucurbits. So usually they lay the eggs in soil. These pumpkin beetles lays the eggs in soil, and the grubs, in fact, they also feeds on the roots and the parts which are touching to the ground, and they pupate in soil itself. So total life cycle may occupy about 32 to 65 days. So this is the nature of damage. You can see here many of the cucurbits, they in fact makes this type of circular cuts in order to remove the cucurbitacin. Okay, so cucurbitacin is actually it actually kills the insects which feed on the cucurbits. Okay, but they have the specific mechanism to remove the cucurbitacin and then they feed. So very characteristic behavior. In fact, you can see here it actually cut like this so that the cucurbitacin movement is is eliminated and they feed on this portion. And here you can see, yeah, this is how they actually feed. By they cause biting voles as well. So in fact, adults is the major the stage which attacks which is the damaging stage, but grubs also feed on the roots and also fruits and others veins which are touching to the ground. So management includes culture practice like clean cultivation and early sowing will reduce the pumpkin beetles damage. Plastic or organic mulches can prevent cucumber beetles. Okay, so as they may not get into the soil in order to lay the eggs. So after harvesting, deep flowing of infested feed, because in that expose the grubs. Dusting ash repels the insects as well, not the traditional practice, ITK technology, and spraying any contact insecticide may works better. Another specific pest which infests the snake gourd but also attacks the bottle gourd to some extent is the Anadevidia peponis. This belongs to subfamily Flucinae of Noctuidae. So the adults usually lays the eggs which are whitish on the whitish spiracles and they are laid on the undersurface. Very characteristic semilooper, you can see here. They are greenish, large number of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 number of whitish lines running all along the body. Okay, they are semiloopers and they act as the foliators. And there is a humped on the last abdominal segment like this. So the white longitudinal veins runs all along the body. Yeah, very clear, I think. So this is the adult of Anadevidia peponis, Flucinae, an Noctuid moth, in fact. So like pumpkin beetle, the snake gourd semilooper also tried to remove the cucurbitacin content, especially in bottle gourd I have seen, where it tried to cut the midrib like this. You can see here it has actually made a hole so that it eliminates the movement of cucurbitacin, so that it will have a safe places where you can feed on. So that's how it actually feeds. It acts as a defoliator pest, in fact. So wherever the infestation, wherever you find the larvae, you can just handpick and destroy. If there is a necessity, you can go for application of chlorpyrifos or the quinalphos. So one of the major pests which infest the cucurbits is the serpentine leaf miner. It is highly polyphagous, and as we know that this is another introduced pest. So and has developed resistance to most of the insecticides. So the nature of damage includes the leaves with narrow whitish serpentine mines. You can see here large number of mines. So this is the maggots mining. Wherever it has moved between them, the mina, we'll find that whitish patches. So heavy infestation leads to large number of mines that may coalesce and form brown blotch like this. So as a result, premature leaf mold may occur. So overall photosynthetic activity is affected. So usually the adult, which is metallic pale yellow in color, lays the eggs in a leaf margin, and the maggot hatched starts moving between the leaf lamina, and as a result that minings occurs, whitish patches occurs. And usually pupation occurs on the leaf surface itself, and sometimes with the fall, the pupation may also occur on the soil itself. And pupa is actually corrected type, you can see here. Very small fly, very common fly in fact. So management includes field sanitation, remove affected cotyledons and lower leaves. So application of neem cake, which is IHR technology, during sowing itself, or transplanting, you can go for application of neem cake at the rate of 200 kg per acre. So chemical control, NSKE and even neem soap is suggested at 1% and NSKE at 4%. And triazophanes, which was widely used insecticide, but wherever the resistance problem is there, so you can go for recently introduced insecticides. Even azadirachtin, I was telling that if you want to spray, it should be devoid of aflatoxin. So the next pest is bottle gourds plume moth, Spinach Kaffir. So it is a pterophorid. So pterophorid can be easily identified with help of or 2 lobes and 3 lobes in forewing and hind wing respectively. And the larvae of the insect, in fact, acts as a defoliator. It makes inviting holes. And pupae look like larvae only with greenish brown colored. So wherever it actually occurs in serious proportion, especially in bottle gourd, we can go for insecticidal applications like melathion, for example. So melanophid, they actually reproduce parthenogenetically. Viviparously, the young ones are laid. So favorable environment includes high humidity coupled with cloudy, rainless, cool months. Both nymphs and adults, they are soft-bodied, pear-shaped, and continuously sucks the sap from the leaves, shoots, flowers, as well as fruits as well. So leaves may start curling, wrinkled, and turn yellow. Infestation at seedling stage may lead to death of the plant. So they do excrete large quantity of honeydew and encourage sooty mold. So that is the direct damage, which sometimes may not be economically cause serious losses. But when they transmit some of the deadliest viruses like cucumber mosaic virus, zucchini yellow mosaic virus, and they transmit in non-persistent manner. So wherever these viruses are transmitted in non-persistent manner, so it is very difficult to control because the short probing period is enough to acquire the virus and transmit the virus. So there, insecticidal management is actually not advisable. So that's why important practices includes use of reflective mulches. So you might have seen tomato and many of the cucurbits, they follow the mulches. So wherever the silver or white mulches are used, they repel the aphids and even thrips as well. So especially if they are carrying the virus, if they repel means you can see the advantage. So that's how you can eliminate the virus damage if they use the reflective mulches. So and also, so as we know that there is the management practices for the viruses. So wherever you find the symptomatic plants, they needs to be rolled out. So as a biological and control agents for the aphids, so ladybird beetles, overflies, syrphids, and braconids, especially Epidius pulmonale, usually take care of the pest in the. Now, if you have used the insecticides to lesser extent, so only when it is needed, you can go for insecticidal application. So of course, the number of systemic insecticides have been recommended. So thrips palmy, especially the other species of thrips also, Planktonella swilgi is also found in fact. So both nymphs and adults, usually they remain in the bud region and they continuously suck the sap. Okay, so as a result, you'll find that silvery appearance on the leaf surface and marginal necrosis occurs because of the insect's damage. The direct damage may be less, but they do access the very important vector of one of the serious virus called watermelon bud necrosis virus, which is called WBNV. Okay, in fact, only the nymphs acquires the virus and adults transmit the virus. Here, the virus is transmitted in a persistent manner. And this is the symptom of watermelon bud necrosis virus. You can see here. So it may be mottling, yellowing, necrotic spots, okay, stunted plant growth, severe stem and bud necrosis. You can see here the bud actually starts drying, and at times complete dieback of the buds, and there will not be any yield at all. Such a serious disease it is, transmitted by thrips. Okay, so again, whatever the management strategies which we targeted in aphids may advocated here also, but compared to aphids, thrips are very serious pests in cucurbits, especially in the watermelon, by transmitting this one of the deadliest virus called watermelon bud necrosis virus. This is a taspo virus, in fact. So some of the minor pests which affects the cucurbits are pentatomid bug like Catacanthus incarnatus, especially on bottle gourd it's common. And this is Aspongopus janus, both nymphs and adults sucks the sap. So this is the Zoophytophagus mirid bug, also called tomato mirid bug. Both nymphs and adults found to suck the sap. So, in fact, they also act as predator. That's why I told this is a Zoophytophagus insect. Cytopeltis tenuis. This is a mirid bug. So one of the non-insect pests which infest the cucurbits, especially in Paleos, the Tetranicus urtica is very problematic. So you know the life history of spider mites. Their eggs are globular and whitish. So immatures are usually whitish and they turn greenish later. Okay, so females are tiny with 2 black patches on the body with 4 pairs of legs. They produce thin silken thread. They in fact construct silken webbings, and they stay within and they continuously suck the sap. Okay, as a result of that, yellow spots appears on the upper surface, and severe infestation may leads to gradual drying of the leaves and they may fall off. So some of the common acaricides used are dicofol, abamectin, okay, phenazocmin, 1.5 ml per liter of water or so. Okay, so that's about the pests of cucurbits. If any specific questions, I'll be happy to take.